So this is in further regards to the KYX or Powerhobby or whoever else is involved with the metal gear sets for the SCX24. Stamp branded as KYX. Whatever, the Chinesium gear set for SCX24s. I've installed mine. People having problems with them. I want to show you what you need to do exactly to negate those problems, or you can come up with any kind of likewise remedy yourself. But this is the key principles: is that the gear, the spur gear, needs to be shimmed off of these two screws in your transmission. I have a 3D printed big block mount, but your screws are going to look the same here. So you've got these two screws that sit under where the spur gear rides. Okay, if you just throw the spur gear down on there, you're going to be dragging the spur gear on these, the new spur gear. Okay, so you got to pay attention to these things. This is why people, I see people say, well, I've been building on RCs since I was a kid and blah blah blah. They've been bolting on parts since they were a kid, because the 1/10 scale stuff, it's all bolt-ons. There's not a lot of home brew stuff. It's all bolt-on. You bolt it on and it works. You put it in and it works. Micros, man, you got to pay better attention. They're more detailed. They're a little more in depth. You got to home brew some things sometimes. So, on with the show. The way I've done it is that I put a little shield down in here over the bearing. Okay? All it is a little tiny washer that I had just filed the sides just a little bit, and it's actually, I'm quite sure that these are a washer off of the Losi Trail Trekkers micro crawlers. I got all kinds of mini nuts and washers and bolts and stuff. You should too, if you really want to be into this hobby and do this kind of stuff. So it's a little tiny washer, and I just had to file the sides just a little bit. It's a washer from the old slipper clutch design on the Losi transmissions, and just a little bit, and it dropped down in there, and it's like a bearing shield down in there. Okay, so that's going to serve for my little brass shim spacer to ride off of. And this needs to be even. This needs to be cut evenly. Because your spur gear is going to ride off of this. So if it's not even, it's not going to run true. It's going to run uneven. Okay? So I suggest you either, you dig through your stuff, you find something like this or whatever that fits over the spur gear shaft, and spaces it up enough so it's going to ride off of that little bearing shield type of deal I made down there. Drop him onto the shaft. There you go. Okay, it's good and even. So now I can drop my gear, and then you look at things, remember the back of the gear, it actually has a little bit of a standoff face to it there. Okay, so I'm going to drop that down on there, and now it's going to be, way clear of those. I'm actually going to cut myself a new one because I had a different setup going on with this. I was going to run the one of the Losi hot racing gears, aluminum gears. So I'm going to cut another one and shorten it up a little bit because it doesn't need that to ride that far off of it. But there you can see through there that it rides way clear of those two screws now. So I'm betting that that's most of y'all's problem that you didn't pay attention to. But I can't say for certain, you know. I know that if you got gears that had holes drilled crooked in them, you know, that's not going to work. So I can't say for certain, but like I said, I know people. So this is what you need to do. And then install your little slipper clutch deal, the little sticker with the cork and stuff. And then drop this little guy that comes with the gear set. Drop him on. And then that locks to your shaft because it has flats. And then you put your nut on. Okay. I'm going to tighten him down for you and show you that these gears that I have are perfectly fine. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Butter, buddy. They run wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Because I paid attention. Perfectly fine. They don't catch at all. So that's how you do this. Just a quick PS. Powerhobby, I believe, is going to be offering a shim so that you won't have to homebrew something for yourself. They're going to be offering the shim that you'll need to space the spur gear off of the face of your transmission housing there to clear those two screws that we're talking about. So they will be, I think, adding that to the package, most likely. It may be in their benefit to add a simplistic little installation instructions thing for people. But yeah, my homebrew thing, I mean, if you want to do that, or, you know, contact them. And I'd suggest that you try that first before you return the product, because you can't find these anywhere else currently. So if you want metal gears for your SCX24, man, hey, these things are running great. I put a little bit of grease in them. Butter. So yeah, contact them and see if they'll send you, you know, the little spacer or something, rather than to return it, or, you know, to badmouth them online or whatever, because it's a great product. It works fantastic. It's, you know, it's Chinese gears, so quality control here and there may not be the best. Some people may get some bad ones with some off-kilter holes or something to that effect. But you know, they're really responsive. They're really great so far. If you got a problem, they're going to refund you. They've made that very clear. So you know, I wouldn't badmouth them. They're going to take care of you one way or the other. And if you want that spacer, just tell them, hey, you know, I should have got this spacer. Okay, they'll send it to you probably. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. So yeah, that's all.